be highly competitive. All of these fillies and mares, except for Ticking Over and Manhattan Express, Honour Your Honour, also a gelding. And they're about to come up. Notre, Reve goes in riderless. Ticking Over, Manhattan Express. Zazudio still out with Sniff It Out, Honour Your Offer, Manhattan Express and Janice. It's got plenty of speed, Janice. Goes quick in its races. But she is a little bit suspect at the end. She gets very tired late. So good solid money, Notre, Reve through the morning. Into 240, Janice now about to come in. Hey now, the second favourite for the Dale stable at 440, 380 or 480 for Janice. And 5 for Zazudio. No money at all, Sniff It Out. I threw this on top at the $15, just thinking that it might get an easier run from barrier 1 than it did resuming. And it's not a strong race, so I throw at the stumps there, but money says probably not. Ticking Over, coming off a duck egg on debut, about to move in. Hey Now, Honour Your Offer, Manhattan Express and Zazudio. So they come up. Hey Now. Afternoon, Dave. Good afternoon, Guesty, and everyone listening in on Sky Racing 1. And our Thoroughbred Central viewers will join us shortly. John Scourse downstairs. Soft 5, the track is now here at Canberra today. Was downgraded at 11:40 after 5 mil of rain overnight and this morning. Rail in the true for this 8 event card, and good money on debut for Notre, Reve. She's been well tried into 235, the Peter Roble first starter. Janice has sweated up badly here. I don't like what I see with her pre-race. She's got very warm over there. She's gone into the gates now. 2 to move in. She is a bit suspect at the end of 1,000 too, Janice, so the fact she's burning nervous energy pre-race is certainly no help to her cause. But not an overly strong race, and Notre, Reve finds a suitable affair to debut in here. Last one's about to come in, Manhattan Express, a first starter for Keith Dryden with Brendan Ward in the saddle. He's got a good book here today. And they appear to be ready. First event. Clark of the course just going around the back. Now the red light. Racing. Pretty good dispatch. Notre, Reve flew out of the gates, the favourite, and went straight to the front for Alyssa. Janice works to second, followed by Zazudio, punching through between runners. Honour Your Offer, then Sniff It Out. Further back was Hey Now, Manhattan Express, and Ticking Over is last of all. Now Janice takes over here, running up to the 650, and leads by 2 lengths on the race favourite Notre, Reve. Zazudio third, the outside of Honour Your Offer, then Sniff It Out. Further back was Hey Now, Ticking Over, and Manhattan Express has dropped away at the tail. It's the speedy Janice leading, coming for home inside the 400 metres by 1.5. Notre, Reve just being niggled at now to give chase. They were followed by Sniff It Out, Honour Your Offer, Zazudio, and Hey Now down the outside. Janice in front. She's a bit suspect late. And Notre, Reve is closing in to quickly get on terms. 200 to go. Then Hey Now, Honour Your Offer, but Notre, Reve took over inside the last 100 metres and dashes away. To second the outside was Hey Now, but Notre, Reve too good on debut. Notre, Reve wins the money by a length and a quarter. Beat home Hey Now second, Janice third, Honour Your Offer 4, followed in by Sniff It Out, Zazudio. Further back in the run was Ticking Over and Manhattan Express last. Well, the money was there to say she'd be winning here on debut, and they get it right with Notre, Reve. The filly showed great early speed. She was a professional on debut there, jumped beautifully, put herself in the winning spot, and raced clear late to score a pretty soft win in the end. 7 first, 6 second, Hey Now. He hit the line well on debut. Janice third, number 4, and Honour Your Offer will run 4. 7, 6, 4 and 1. The time recorded 58.95, last 634.19, and just the margins to wrap up all details on the first at Canberra. But a nice filly, trained by Peter Roble. Bobby Alyssa in the saddle. Too Good resuming. Well, we shouldn't say resuming, should we? First up, she was on debut. But Too Good first up. 1 3/4 by 1 length. Wraps up all details, the first.
Notre Reve on debut and ran right up to the ability of its half-sister or half-sister it is, of course. I've Got the Look. She's pretty smart herself and only had the one trial. Peter Roble not on course today, but he'll be watching us on Sky Thoroughbred Central, I'm certain of it. And nice to see her show some good racing manners there. She jumped like a jet and led, but the very speedy Janice, who we all knew was a little bit suspect at the trip, soon took it up and she took the sit, so she relaxed nicely and kept a little bit for the run home there, Notre Reve. She was too good there. A nice ride from Bobby Alyssa. Hasn't he come back well himself, Bob Alyssa, from that long layoff with the battle with cancer, and he's been back only a few weeks and he hasn't stopped riding winners. Won at Goulburn the other week from not too many rides, and his only ride for the day on Notre Reve today. Rode it lovely and patiently, and she was too strong in the finish. Look, you had to be taken by the run of the second horse, Hey Now. That nice long leggy filly from the Matty Dale yard got back a fair way and really made up some good ground late in the piece. They've run 58.95 on this soft 5, so gee, it's not too bad a time given the fact that we've got very, very long grass. The times are not that quick for the 1,000 here at the best of times, so I'd imagine they only would have took only about half a second off that at the best anyway if it was a dryish track. So we'll get Bobby Alyssa's thoughts on Notre Reve, but she looks a nice little filly with a good future, not a single doubt. Of course, well related with I've Got the Looks, and like to be ridden a little bit quietly and showed good turn of foot. I've Got the Looks. This one might be in the same mould, so we'll get Bobby's thoughts on that and the track conditions, but she was way too good there, as I mentioned. Hey Now, certainly an eye catcher for second, and Janice, she just struggles to get that 1,000 metres. She led for a fair way, but she was suspect from the 100 and 100 home, and that's how it panned out. And, of course, on here offer first up, best of the rest. So we'll have a quick chat to Bobby and get his thoughts, talking to the part owner, Kev Randall. Kev's owned a number of horses in these, and these colours been carried by some nice horses as well. So, Bobby Alyssa, take us through that, mate. Bobby Alyssa, he jumped like a jet, but you knew Janice would go. You took the sit.
I did, mate. Pete sort of timed me the form before I got to the races, and the owner did. So when she got to the front, she sort of pricked her ears, being green that she is. And I was happy to I was waiting for Matty, seeing I knew he was going to burn early, so I was happy to let him go and give her something to follow. So, and she did that and won well.
Mate, she had a bit up her sleeve, and a great way for her to kick off a career, to get a little bit of racing experience at the sit.
That's for sure, Johnny. Exactly right. Baby horse like that, especially come from the Pete camp, so he would have taught her a fair bit at the Randwick.
Yeah, mate, look, where are you basing yourself riding work-wise? You getting out to the farm, Warwick Farm?
I'm getting a couple of weeks to the farm if I can. The last 2 weeks have been pretty hard knocks because I've been travelling everywhere. I've been living in the car, but I've been doing constant mornings at Randwick, Thursdays and Saturdays for good trainers, and it's paying dividends, so...
Mate, only one ride for you. Next time they're on here, you'll just about have a full book. It's great to see you back, champion. You rode that an absolute treat. Keep it up.
Thanks, Johnny. Good to see you, buddy.
There we go, Bobby Alyssa, and a beautiful patient ride on Notre Reve. She was way too good there, 7.64. One was fourth, as I mentioned, 58.9. Not too bad a time. I'll hand it back to you guys in the studio.